Hello. Hello, my friends. Thank you for being here today with us. My name is Rosanna Jerry Taylor, a travel agent who specializes in destination weddings and honeymoons from Dallas, Texas. I can help you with your destination wedding in Mexico or the Caribbean. And my main goal is to help you to find a resort that matches not only your wedding vision, but also your wedding budget, and your guest budget. Today, we have the special honor to have a very, very special guest, Javier Bao from Cancun in Mexico. He's a phenomenal photographer, and he'll be sharing with us today how to avoid costly mistakes when you're hiring a photographer for your wedding day. Without any further introduction, let's hear from Javier.
Thank you very much, Rosanna. Thank you for this kind presentation. My name is Javier Bao. Yes, I'm specialized in destination wedding photography here in Cancun and the Riviera Maya. And I'm very excited to be here. I'm really excited to being able to help all these beautiful brides out there.
I'm happy that you are doing this, Javier, with us. Por favor, muy buenos días. Muchas gracias por estar aquí. Javier y yo somos ambos profesionales bilingües. Yo soy nativa de Perú, él es de México, Cancún. Así que si vives aquí en los Estados Unidos, pero tienes familia que va a venir a tu boda de países latinoamericanos que no hablan inglés, con mucho gusto nosotros podemos servirles. So Javier, let's start by talking about how to hire the right photographer for your wedding day, because you know the hotels are always offering the in-house photographers, but they might not be the best option for a bride. So what is your insight on this?
Yes. Well, first of all, I would like to mention what is really the importance of wedding photography, and how to hire the best photographer for you, because that is the biggest mistakes I hear from brides. There's a bigger regret from past brides that happens when they don't hire the best photographer, because I really want to mention that photography service and video is not only like a checklist. It's not like any other vendor. Of course, everything is important, but the photography and the video is the only thing that is going to last forever. You know, Imagine that 10 years from now, 20 years from now, when your kids or your grandkids are with you in the couch in the living room, and they want to see your wedding pictures. And I really think that the weddings pictures and the videos are like time machines, because they really bring you back to that moment, you know. And if you really had a good photographer and videographer, you are going to feel those experiences again. The moment you're going to feel it again one more time, There are so many stories I hear from brides that when they see the pictures, they start crying because they feel the emotions, and that's the importance of having a good photographer. And now we need to understand what is a best photographer, not just because he's a professional, because it's the best fit for you. It's like a customized that it really has what you're asking for, you're looking for on a photographer. So
Yes,
I would like to start with that.
yes, and I have to say that I love your photography just because of that, because you caption the emotions, you caption the feelings, and that is what for me in photography is what speaks the most. And I think the brides want to remember those moments when they got all tearful, or when their parents got all really transformed by the moment, and just it's just beautiful. I love that you do that.
Yeah, it's very important. We can be very experienced about how to manage the cameras and the edition, but behind that is the emotion. At the end of the day, what we really want to capture is the emotion of the day.
Yes, yes. And this year I noticed that it's coming like a big trend. It started last year, but this year is coming more. I am seeing more questions on those brides groups on Facebook that they are trying to hire a content creator. So I know that you offer that service. Can you explain a little bit more what exactly is a content creator?
Yeah, content creation came very popular with the new platforms of TikTok and Instagram Reels,
Yes.
because all the people, the guests that attending your wedding, they used to film the short videos of the wedding day at the moment that is happening, and then share this with the other families that wasn't unable to attend the wedding.
Yeah.
And then these platforms offer some like templates, so they mix the videos together and nice presentation, and then just you can share them. Okay. Well, we as videographers have find a way to make it professional, and then the biggest advantage of this is that you can share the videos instantly in the day at the time, real time.
Yes.
And so
That's the reason that they hire a content creator, because they want to be posting the reels at the time that they are getting married, at the time that they are throwing the flowers, just oh,
exactly. Yeah, what happened here in destination weddings is that not all the family can come to a
oh
destination
yes,
wedding. These
yes,
are like small groups, like maybe 40, 60, 80 people, maybe
yeah,
100, but no, not too much. More often like 50 people,
yeah,
and then there's like all the rest of the family back home, and they want to share these moments with them. So that's
yes,
very good for content creation.
yes, that's fantastic. So tell us, what is the difference between how you can find the right photographer for you? Because the hotels always offer us uh, the inside photographer, and they always tell the brides, if you bring a vendor from outside, you have to pay a vendor fee. If you hire a photographer that is not in-house, but many times the photographers in-house might not be the best for you. And I had an experience with one hotel that I was having a family trip with my parents, and I wanted
Mhm.
a photographer to capture that moment because my parents are already elderly in their 80s. So I had a photographer, but when she came, I could tell that she was very novice. She was just learning. So yeah, I choose the sunset time because for me that's the most beautiful time to take pictures on the beach and with the family. But at the end, I was not pleased with the pictures. It just didn't capture the emotions and the laughs and the things. It was like pose on this way, pose on that. And I like more natural pictures, more as seen as happening. We are talking and chatting and laughing. I like those moments, not make this face and stand like this, stand like that. So I was disappointed, and I was saying, if I would be a bride and I have to hire just this photographer, I will be completely upset because it won't capture the wedding day like I would like. So explain us how, for the brides, how they can really choose the best option for them based on their needs.
Exactly. Yeah, that happens many times, unfortunately. But beside telling you the most common advices that we can find on the web, like, like ask for reviews and look the portfolio and all that, we have to understand that finding the best photographer for you is communication between if you find like a photographer that you like their portfolio, and you see nice reviews on the websites. Of course, we are going to find nice portfolios up there because most of the photographers upload our best pictures, but we
Yes,
need to go deep inside. We need to go deep inside, and you need to get in touch with this photographer that you liked, and then you have to understand, and there's look for any connection with him. Yeah, maybe you have to communicate your style, the style of the picture you want. The personality, it matters a lot,
yes,
because I have some friends that are very extroverts, and some friends that are very introverts,
yes,
and it depends on the couple too, because if there's an introvert couple and they hire an extrovert couple, the photographer is going to be giving directions that maybe they don't fit with the personality of the couple,
yes,
so personality means a lot, so that's why I encourage all the brides to really have communication, maybe in a call, maybe in a Zoom video
yes.
conference,
And so you can
interviewing,
to
so they
build
can
that
really meet the
rapport,
person.
right?
Exactly. So they meet the person and they see who is behind the lens, behind the camera. They know the guy that is there,
Yes,
and then being able to, uh beside the experience, to look for the skills of him to improvise.
Yes.
Because, sometimes when we are on the wedding day, I
Yes.
mean, I've been this for 14 years, and
Yes.
I've seen a lot of stories, and good stories and not so good stories. Sometimes there are like misunderstandings with the families, or the bride with the mother-in-law. Problems can arise like in the getting ready, and
Yeah.
there's like bad feeling in the room, and maybe
Yeah.
the bride get really upset and start crying, and we have to manage that situation. So we have to have the skills to like do a little bit of psychology,
Yes.
to make the bride calm down, so we
Yes.
can start like taking real photos, like good moments in the photos. Because no matter if you make a good pose, you can make them pose like in the right position, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, what the camera is going to capture is the feeling, the moment that they are happening between
The
them two.
expression, what you're
the,
feeling.
the
Yes.
expression of the face, the look, the eyes when they look at each other,
Yeah.
and if they are not feeling that, your camera is not going to capture that.
Yes.
So we have to have the skills to improvise, to manage like emergency situations, and yeah, that's one of the
I
most
bet
yeah.
I bet you even have to improvise when the weather changes, because sometimes it could be all nice and sunny and all of a sudden a big wind or even some raindrops. All
Yes,
those things that
that's another
happen.
topic, the weather. Nobody wants to talk about the weather.
Yes. The Caribbean is always unpredictable. You never know when the rain showers are going to form or when the winds are going to start blowing.
Exactly. So yeah, and then the expectations for the bride, you know, because I see this sometimes when the couple see their pictures at the end, and then they say, "No, I wanted different colors in my pictures," or "You didn't capture my grandma dancing with the grandpa." you know so all these expectations the brides have, it has to be communicated to the photographers in video, so they are ready to see these little details in there.
Yes.
So I think communication is everything.
Yes, it is, and everything and I think that's why you do a consultation with each bride before they hire you, so you can go through all these steps and get that information. So when they hire you, they already know which things you're gonna cover, and that you're always very open to communication, last minute changes, and all of that.
Exactly. And talking about the photographers, the inside photographers and the
Mm.
outside photographers, you
Yes,
know I see there is a big problem, uh, that brides are like kind of blind when they come to Mexico. I see a lot of brides, they don't really know what is happening here in Mexico. They come, some of them, a lot of them, is their first time in Mexico. And then
yes,
I ask them, why you get choose to marry in Mexico? And they say, oh, because a friend of a friend got married here, or a friend of a friend recommended me the wedding in Mexico. You
yeah. Or
know,
they have been at the destination wedding guest, and now they like the idea of doing their wedding there.
exactly. So when they're trying to find this information, we cannot really find this clear information, and all the all-inclusive resorts in the Riviera Maya, the big resorts, they have photography concessions, like
In,
in-house photographers.
in
And
house.
if you want to bring an outside photographer, they charge a fee.
Yes,
Now,
very.
these last times, the fees are going crazy expensive.
Yeah.
From 800 to 1,000, 1,200. It's very
It's because
expensive.
the hotels are trying to keep all this service inside. So they have their wedding team. So they have between their wedding team is the photographers, is the ones that provide the floral decor, the makeup artists. So the hotel are trying to make you book all within them.
Exactly. And the bride, so the bride has to be very careful, but when choosing the photographer from the in-house service, I'm not saying that all of them are bad,
Yes.
but I've seen everything.
Yes.
Some of them are very good because they have like 200 weddings a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of weddings. So a lot of them are good in what they do, but as I said, they need to match your style,
Yes.
the one you're looking for, because they might be good, but they have their own style. They have the concession style,
Yes.
and it has to match with your style you're looking for. And then we have the bad stories because all these big resorts they have like a lot of weddings. Their personnel, the photographers, are rotating, so they have a new photographers
Yes.
sometime from time to time. You know, uh,
Yeah, the person
the
rotates a
same
lot. And
the
that's
same
why,
happened with the wedding planners
yeah.
from the
That's what I
resorts.
was saying. When I hired this photographer because it was at the hotel, I knew that that hotel has that photography for many years. So I said, okay, it must be a good photographer. But I didn't realize that photographers keeps rotating. So the one that was sent to take my session of photography, well, I could tell she was barely new because just on her confusion when I was saying I want a sunset picture, is like she couldn't understand exactly how a sunset picture, and I was telling her I would like you to tell us more or less what to do, make fun photographies, and but she couldn't guide us in a way to make those photography really stand out and be
Hmm.
really memorable for us. So
Exactly, and they have to be very careful with that, with the rotation. So my tip to the brides right there is to talk to the concession, photography concession in there, the one is in charge, and
yes,
ask them who's going to be the one covering their wedding, and ask
mhm,
them for the portfolio, and
exactly.
if they can, there is a meeting before when the brides come to meet the resort.
Yes,
There's like a discovery trip, so they
yes,
can look at the resort and see if they like the resort or not. They meet the
yes,
first time with the wedding planner. The photographer can be there for the meeting, so
yes.
they can meet the photographer, see how their experience, talk to him, and see if that is a right fit for them. Yeah,
Yes,
so that's my best tip for them. Yeah, now talking about the outside vendors, um, I really encourage the brides if it is on their budget to go for the outside vendor, because there you have complete flexibility and for choosing your style. You are going to get exactly what you want.
yes, yes. And I'm so glad that you mentioned that. I always emphasize to the brides that they need to go before you invest so much in your wedding. That is very good for you to go to those. Most of the hotels, good brands will offer you 2 days, 2 nights at the hotel where you can meet the wedding planners and meet all the wedding team, and you can feel the resort, you can taste the food of the resort. So when you decided to go for that place, you will be 100% sure that is the place that really resonated in you, that will bring your wedding vision to life, and you will be happy. It's really like going, if you don't do that trip, that discovery trip, it's like going blindfolded and you don't know what is going to happen when you arrive to the hotel because you don't know
Mhm.
anything about the hotel. So yes, I highly encourage to do that, as Javier is saying.
Yeah, and that's very opportunity to meet your photographer and meet all the staff that's going to be there taking care of you.
Y recuerda que si hablas español y tienes a tu novio que no habla español o al viceversa, de repente tú eres el novio que habla español y tu novia no habla el español, pues aquí tienes a Javier que te puede recibir y hacer responder todas tus preguntas a los dos, en los dos idiomas. Eso es muy importante para estas parejas multiculturales, que aquí en la ciudad de Dallas yo veo muchas. Y en mi caso propio, yo soy latina, soy peruana, pero mi esposo es americano y siempre que viajamos necesitamos bilingües. A cualquier lado que vamos necesitamos bilingües porque él no habla nada de español. Y por
Exacto.
supuesto no quiero estar traduciendo todo el tiempo.
Sí, es un dato muy importante de que también me ha tocado ver, ¿no? Me ha tocado ver cuando el novio sí no habla nada de español y la novia es latina.
Mhm.
Y sí, de repente se la pasa uno hablando todo el tiempo en español y el novio se queda solo esperando así a ver que alguien le explique, ¿no?
Okay,
Pero
yes.
sí, con gusto los atendemos y aquí los esperamos poder servirles en los dos idiomas.
Perfecto. I think now we need to start talking about the tips that the brides are so curious about that. What tips can you give them for make
Yeah.
their photography stand out?
Talking about the inside photographers and the outside photographers, there is a very nice tip I would like to mention
Yeah.
that nobody's going to tell you. It's about how to avoid the vendor fee for
Oh,
your
yeah.
photography.
Yes.
Okay. Uh, I have two clear examples of two big resorts here in Cancun. For example, in most of them, you can avoid the vendor fee if you book a room for your photographer.
Yes.
Mm,
Minimum 3 nights.
Minimum 3 nights, okay. But this is the tip. Even if it is not cheaper, okay, for example, the 3 nights might be the same cost like than the fee or a little bit higher,
Mhm.
but you can talk to the photographer and maybe negotiate some service in those days that he's going to be in the resort. For example, in my case, I offer the brides a photo session service for their guest. So the day before the wedding, I can be shooting photo sessions for the families that are attending the wedding. So,
Yes.
so because at the end of on the wedding day, all the families want pictures, you know,
Yes.
because there's a photographer there, so they want pictures. But you can be one day earlier and start taking photos of the families and have a pre-session with the couple. And that
Yes.
is a very nice opportunity to even get more connection with the couple,
Yes.
because having connection with the couple is going to result in better photography for the
Okay.
couple. It's like when you have a family member taking you photos, you are yourself. You are act like yourself. You are not shy. You are not like nervous. You just are yourself, and that is where real moments happen. So the
Exactly.
more connection you have with your photographer, the better photos you will have.
Yes.
So I believe that if you are able to take the photographer in a room in the resort, that be better for have a better service. Okay. And then there's another thing. Some resorts, they allow you only 2 people per fee. That means that you can bring 2 people, one
Mm.
photographer and one videographer, or
Yeah.
per service. That's even worse. Per
Oh,
service, they charge you a fee for photography and they want to charge you a fee for videographer. Okay,
okay.
with 2 people each team. Okay, so I bring 4 people with 2 fees. Okay, how
Mhm.
to avoid that? Uh, what I say in Royalton, for example, I do the service with one photographer and one videographer with only one fee. How I do that? Because I sign in as photography service, just
Yeah.
as photography service, and once I am inside, I do photo and my friend do the video. Okay, it is okay with the wedding planners because actually the rules come from the resort, and the guys that handle the rules from the resort are not in the resort, are in Canada.
Okay.
When you pay, you don't
Yeah.
pay in Mexico, you pay, and your money goes to Canada. And other resorts, for example, in Barcelona, when you pay, your money is going to Spain.
Yes, man. Yeah, we have many chains from other countries. Yes.
So when you want to ask for a refund, you have to wait for the answer back from Canada or from Spain. The money
Yeah.
is not in Mexico. So that's how you can like play with the rules a little bit. Okay, and I've done this a lot of times in Royalton. I just sign in as a photographer and I come with one guy, uh, one other guy, and we do one photo and with the other do video. Okay, so that's another way to avoid one fee and have photo and video at the same time. Okay, and what was the other thing I was want to talk about the fees? um I want something more in mind. Let me remember. There's I just I just lost the idea of that. I was want to tell you about these fees. Okay, but it is fine. So that's what happened about the fees. So
Yes.
we can go with that.
Yeah, I'm familiar that with the brides, because many times brides want to bring their photographers from their country, like from United States, but we normally discourage that because the photographer traveling from here to Mexico will have to bring their all their cameras and all of that and pay a heavy fee at the customs in Mexico just to enter their equipment. So it's
Yes,
better to hire the locals. And like you said, you just add them in your group, you just put them in a room for a minimum of 3 nights, and the hotel will allow you to do whatever you need to do with your photography, your videography with no problems. Uh,
exactly.
so let's talk now about the tips for the brides, how to
Hmm.
make their photos stand out. What do you talk, for example, uh, when they do their photography with their brides, with their bridesmaids, uh, what kind of clothing is the one that pop up really nice, and what kind of clothing you will say try to avoid?
Okay. Of course, it depends on the style of the bride. Okay,
Yeah,
because for example, if we have like a boho style, the
yeah,
colors are going to be totally different, right? If they want some like other traditional uh, colors. But
yeah,
what I always recommend is that they have colorful dresses that match the turquoise water on the ocean. You know, like contrast the colors
okay,
with the
that's
turquoise water because because they want the ceremony, most of them with the ocean as a background. You know,
yes,
and their portraits are going to be with the ocean as a background. Hmm. So we want colors that match that contrast. So we
okay,
have very nice pictures. And I would like to talk about the wedding timeline because
yeah,
here I have a lot of tips for the brides to get the most of their photographers. Is let's talk about the timeline.
perfect.
As you know, the timeline is the things that are going to happen during the day, during the wedding day. You know, from
Yes,
the beginning to the
they
end.
start, yes, since they start getting dressed and putting their makeup all the way to the end of the ceremony and the reception.
Exactly. And I don't know if you know, but the wedding planner is not the only one that has a wedding timeline. The photographer also has their own timeline. It
Yes,
is based on what he's been talking to the bride. You
exactly.
know, the bride might ask for getting ready pictures. She might ask for first look photos. Okay.
Yes,
And the first look photos, if there is no nice communication or the perfect communication with a wedding planner, the timelines are not aligned. So
yes,
they must start get a little messy there. And then problems can start arise. Like you might start getting too late or too early for the events according to the wedding planner timeline.
yeah,
So first of all, the timelines have to be aligned. So
mm,
I'll always like a week before, I ask the bride to send me the wedding planner timeline.
yeah,
So I make sure the wedding timeline is aligned, you know, and then we can start talking about what is the first thing that happens in the timeline, which is the getting ready. Mm.
okay.
Now, I had some surprises in the getting ready because sometimes the bride uh, hire me for the getting ready, and when I arrived to the room, she had the dress already on, and everything is on the jewelry, the
Um,
bracelet, the shoes, everything. She's
you
like
have to tell
ready.
them, go and dress and let me take you pictures again.
Exactly. And so this is very important. So
Yes,
to the bride to know what is going to really happen on the getting ready session,
yes,
you know?
yes,
And there's a lot of tips right there. First of all, the bridal suite.
yes,
If she has the budget to get the bridal suite, let's go for it. Because the bridal suite is going to give you space. It's going
yes,
to
for your
give
man
you a
and
beautiful
to get
background.
ready with your friends. Yes,
Beautiful background is going to give you, most of them are very with the perfect in light. They have
mm,
very good lighting. Okay.
okay,
And there you can have all the people like the bridesmaids and the
yes,
moms, you know, the most important for you
yes,
is you get with better pictures over there.
yes,
But if it is not in your budget and you are getting ready in the room, there's also a few tips that I would like to tell. First of
Yeah.
all, I know it's a little hard in the wedding day. It's a little crazy, but try to don't be too messy. Okay, clean up a little bit before we arrive, because of course we can do it. We are more than happy to clear the space where we are going to be working on, but it takes time, so we can save
And
time.
when you are in the bridal suite, make sure that it's tidy for the moment
Hmm.
the photographer arrive.
Exactly.
Same
Also in the room, if you decide to go to do it in the room, the
in
same
the
thing.
bedroom. Oh yeah. Oh
Keep it
yeah.
tidy.
And we normally, when we are traveling, we have clothes everywhere and things. Yeah, you need to make sure.
Yeah, yeah, and as I said, we are more than happy to do it for you, but it takes time.
Yeah.
So yeah, which is more important to have been taking photos, to been taking
Yes.
photos right there. Yeah, so that's one thing, and the other thing is that keep all the details in one place, like the little important details, like rings, shoes, a veil, your vowels, everything that is important, keep it close so we can take photos of that. Yeah,
Mm.
and then of course we are going uh, the first question I get is at what time you're going to be arriving, a nice before the ceremony for the getting ready pictures.
Yeah.
Okay, we can do it in like 1 hour, almost 2 hours. It is enough. She's going
Like
to
two
be
hours before the
before
before
the
the
ceremony.
ceremony. Okay.
Yes, because she's going to start getting ready. I mean the makeup and the hair maybe like 4 hours before the ceremony. Okay, but we don't have to be there 4 hours before the ceremony,
Yeah.
because before 4 hours before is too much time, and she's not going to want the photos with no makeup at
Without
all.
makeup.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
exactly. So
So
we
pretty much,
arrive at the end.
okay, pretty much you arrive at the bridal suite or at the room when they already have all their makeup and hair, everything done. That's your
Exactly. So we capture just the final details,
yeah,
or like the lips or the eye over here, the eyebrow, you
yeah,
know, and putting the veil on. So just the
yeah.
final details. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Well,
then yeah, then she can start getting ready. And yeah, so that's the tip for the getting ready photos. Yeah. And then there's the first look. Some of the brides they like to do a first look before the ceremony.
yes, that's where they take their pictures by the ocean or on the beautiful staircases or in the beautiful gardens, just the two of them, right?
Exactly. Some brides doesn't know what is a first look. They don't have it in mind. So I
Mm.
would like on the first meeting we have, I explain them what is a first look, and I
Yes,
tell them that the first look is this very special moment that happens before the ceremony. It's like an intimate moment between them two when they see each other for the first time, and
yeah,
this moment is magical. This is beautiful because
yeah,
there is nobody else there. It's
yeah.
just their own space, their own time, special moment just for them too. You know,
Yeah, it's when the groom see her for the very first time in her wedding gown, and it's all the emotions come out of him.
exactly. Some
Mm.
of them they like to write something to each other,
Yeah,
and if the groom doesn't want to see her before the ceremony, they
yeah.
can be done like a first touch. And the
Oh,
first touch is like the same thing, but they don't see each other. They are like back to back.
okay.
Without seeing each other, it's like back to back. They can be holding hands, and
Yeah.
then they read something to each other, some special words to each other. And this is also magical. This is beautiful.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So and they have the first touch, they have the special moment, and then they go to the ceremony and they see for the first time in the ceremony. But this is a very nice photo
Yeah.
shooting right there.
I bet, I bet you
Yeah.
have some good memories of weddings
Hmm.
that impress you.
Yes. But I insist we have to be very aligned with the wedding timeline for the planner.
Yes.
Because if we decide to do this first look session and the wedding planner doesn't know that we just decide to do it, the wedding planner is going to be crazy looking for the bride. That where she's at, where she's at, you know.
How long does it take the wedding looks photography? 30 minutes?
We can do it very short in very short time, like 20 minutes, 15 minutes.
2 minutes? Okay.
Yeah, like 15 minutes is enough. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Some brides,
Really- So it really has to be very close to the where the ceremony is gonna be taking place.
yes, 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 yes. Locations are very important.
And what about, I'm sure that the makeup artist will cover the bride with the makeup to prevent the sweating because the Caribbean is always going to be feeling that hot air and that moisture in the air that makes you sweat more easily. So,
Yes.
uh, what do you say to the bride to prevent that and have the photography without that looking sweaty and hot?
Yeah, yeah. Here the humidity is a huge thing.
Yeah,
So yeah, waterproof makeup. It's very
water.
important. Waterproof makeup is very, very important because the bride is gonna cry.
Yes,
Sometime during the day, the bride is gonna cry. Most of them they do, and
yes,
yeah, we don't want your black,
yes.
this thing running
Really
into your cheek.
unprecedented. Yes.
Yeah, waterproof. Yeah, because humidity is bad. And yeah, so yeah, after the first look, they go to the ceremony,
Mhm.
and then we can start talking about the ceremony. What is happening in the ceremony? We have also a lot of tips for the ceremony. The most important tip is, of course, if the bride wants, tell all your guests to do like an unplugged ceremony.
What is that?
Unplugged ceremony.
Yes.
It is all the guests not using cell phones or tablets or any device
Oh,
to
yes.
take a
Yeah.
photo or video.
Yeah.
You know, they can, but what always happen is that they go with the hand all the way, you know, and then we have the perfect shot, and then we have a hand with a cell phone in the middle, you know.
Yes.
So
I
they
was thinking, Javier, if you can be sharing your screen of your photography while we are talking, so they can see all the
yeah,
magic
yeah, for
that,
sure.
that you bring, especially now that we are talking about the photography at the
Hmm.
ceremony and the reception. Will be very nice for them to see your job and you can
For sure. Let me go here.
explain it to them.
Right there. Can you see it now?
Uh, yes, now I can see it.
All right. So yeah, these are some beautiful pictures from sunset.
First looks, right? These are
N-
looks or
no,
after?
these are just random photos, ceremony, portraits,
Okay.
little bit of everything. Yeah, but yeah, what I was saying is unplugged ceremony with no cell phones because over here, we have the perfect shot, and
Yes.
then we can have this lady with a hand all the way up and covering with the cell phone over
Yes.
here.
That's
So yeah, that's a very nice advice.
that's yeah.
Yeah, and also, yeah, one very important thing is sometimes there's a rehearsal the day before, when they
Yes.
practice where to go, how to walk, how faster.
Yeah.
It's very important because sometimes they don't know how fast they should go according to the music for the entrance.
Yeah.
If they have a large bridal party, they don't know where to go, how to stand, which way they have to be facing, you know, and
Yes.
to handle that like in real time. Well, it takes
I
time
love
and makes the pictures. Yeah.
I love these photos that you have with movement. How did you get that?
Oh,
Where
this one.
yes, where the
Oh, this one.
this is flying is beautiful. That adds so much to the magic.
These
And
are
at the
our
sunset
tricks,
time,
yeah,
right?
or magic. Yeah. Well, this is the wind actually.
It was the wind that
This
was
is the
playing.
wind, and this
Oh,
is
how
very
you were able
important
to
topic.
capture those very beautiful,
Yeah.
that
Of
beautiful
course, I direct the bride how to move and how to walk,
them.
and how to hold the dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and over here, let me tell you something about this one. This one there where the dress is flying to the
Maybe you
side.
can do double click to expand that picture and everybody can see it better.
Oh yeah, this one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and this one over here, I have my second shooter, my
Yeah.
assistant, to
Yeah.
hold the dress over here,
Oh, and you
and
can
then
see
just
it.
release it.
Oh,
Yeah,
beautiful. I love that movement.
yeah, we have our tricks.
This is
Yeah,
kind of like
but
the golden hour too, right?
yes, yes, it is. Ceremonies are like around 5 p.m.,
Yeah.
6 p.m. Yeah, it depending of the time zone.
And it's nice
Yeah.
because you can see beautiful the colors of her face, because the sunset
Mhm.
pictures are the most difficult pictures.
Yeah, like these ones.
Yeah.
It's a very
Oh,
romantic style.
exactly.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, but talking about the wind, yeah, it's a very, very important topic, the wind. The
Yeah.
wind, you are on the beach. So on the beach, the wind is strong, can be strong.
Yes.
Okay. So we have to tell the brides, remind them about the hairstyling. You know,
Mm-hmm.
don't bring the hair too loose because then you will have your hair all over your face.
Yes.
It's all over your face. If you see the brides here, they have
So it's good.
like
So it's good for the brides to do anything holding their hair, at least this
this part on the front.
fourth portion. Yes, that is not gonna
Hmm.
come. Yeah, good advice on that.
Exactly. Yeah, because some of the I've seen many brides fighting with the hair on the ceremony.
Have that problem too. Yeah, with my hair coming in the front.
Yeah, as you can see here, we have.
Yeah, this is beautiful too. The one where the everybody's all kind of like playing. Yeah.
These are the emotions.
Yes.
People feeling the
Yeah,
pic.
people getting oh, yeah, the father getting all emotional.
Yeah. Now we have portraits.
Yes, baby. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's about the ceremony. Those are my tips for the ceremony. And then about the rings and the ceremony. Uh,
Yes,
when you are putting the ring on her hand, mm,
yes.
don't go like this, like cover all the hand like this. They have to put it like underneath so we can see the ring on the picture.
And oh,
They go like this.
yes, yes,
With
perfect.
his hand has to be under her hand and go
Yes,
like this.
so you
So
can,
we
yeah,
have a clear shot for the ring going
yes.
into her hand. Yeah, I think. And yeah, on the ceremony, after the ceremony, I always like to do a group photo
Mm-hmm.
right after they come out. Because if we wait longer, all the people start going away. Like they go to the
Yeah,
bathroom and they go for a drink, and then it's very hard to bring all of them together again.
yes,
So we do a group photo right after the ceremony, and then we have a list, an order already set up. After
okay,
the group photo, we do the family pictures, and I have an order. I have it covers almost everything. I do both sides of the family first
yeah,
at the same time because we still have them there. So we
yes,
do, and then we start cutting off from there. We do then bride side and then groom side,
yes,
and then we start doing the combinations like the parents, both parents, and then siblings, and then immediate family, uh, and then after that we ask for the guest, all the guests, the rest of the guests, different
yeah,
combinations, whatever they want to do, like uncles, cousins, friends, and then most of them are going to the cocktail hour.
yeah,
After the cocktail hour, we go to the portraits.
okay,
Or during the cocktail hour, where all the people is in the cocktail hour, we are doing the portraits with the bridal party.
okay.
We do the photos with the bridal party,
So
and
you
then we
really,
start. Yeah,
so you really cover the photography, not only the wedding and the reception, but you go way farther, offering each guest that is there to have their own photography taken and their own portrait taken. That's a huge addition because normally photographers, they just take the pictures of ceremony and the wedding, but not necessarily do the individual families pictures or the individuals portraits. That's a big addition in your service.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we don't do this in the same day. I mean, we can do this separately on the day before if
Yes,
we are staying three days in the resort.
yes,
So on the wedding day, we focus on the wedding, on the couple. Yeah,
of
but
course.
we do the combination, the family combination with the couple.
Yes.
And then we do the portrait, uh, and then we go back to the cocktail, and then start the reception.
So
Yeah.
how long, how many hours is what you recommend for a bride to hire their photographer? Because some will think that if I squeeze just 3 hours of photography, I just reduce the cost of my photography. So for all
Hmm.
of these that you do, how many hours do you recommend for all of these?
Well, I can help you. I can help the bride save some money, because not all of them need the 8 hours. That's true. Okay. Even if other photographers want to sell the big package of 8 hours, uh, most of the time they don't really need the 8 hours. We can do a full cover in 6 hours, but it depends. It all depends on the time between the ceremony and the reception.
Yeah.
I start planning the timeline starting from the ceremony. And what time is the ceremony? So I start from the center, which is the ceremony, and then go back if we need hours for the getting ready, and then go forward if how many hours we need uh, for cover at least 1 hour or 2 hours from in the reception time. But it depends on the gap that we have between the ceremony and the reception, because sometimes the gap between ceremony and reception is like 2 3 hours, and that is the crucial point. So if the bride can manage the that gap with the wedding planner and reduce that gap, we can do a full cover in 6 hours. So for example, we can go from, if the ceremony is at 5, we can start at 4, and then we have 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, from 4 to 10. Okay, so ceremony is
So
at
that,
5, and then cocktail hour should be at 7 or 6. I mean, at 6 or 6:30.
that ceremony usually lasts only 30 minutes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then reception can start at 7. And from 7 to 10, we have 3 hours from reception. 3 hours is enough time to cover the first dances, all the protocol, the first dance, parent dance, speeches in the dinner, like cake cutting, and maybe 1 hour and a half of party. And
Those
yeah,
6 hours will include the first looks and the when she's getting ready for the wedding or not? Or you have to add 1 more hour for that?
we can do only one. With the 6 hour package, we can accommodate like just the getting ready pictures, not first look,
Okay, getting
because the
ready.
first look will take more time.
Yeah. So at least another 30 minutes. Okay.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, but we
even
can
for
do
the
it
first
in six
looks
hours.
and the getting ready, they will have to add 7 hours minimum to have that.
Yes, at
Oh,
least 7 hours. Yes, yes.
okay.
Yeah. So when we have brides that don't want the getting ready, we can do it in 4. Starting from the ceremony.
Yeah, ceremony and reception. So
Hmm.
that is showing us that you're very flexible. You don't have a package that is just one fit all. You accommodate to whatever the bride needs. You customize it.
Exactly, exactly. That's my full intention to
Mm,
be very flexible, to bring to the bride a service that is fully customized package. Yeah, whatever the bride needs, that's important. That's why it's so important the communication. Whatever she needs, we can do something.
yes. And I see that you took pictures also of the Indian weddings that are so popular, coming so popular.
Yes, yes, I've done Persian weddings,
Persian
huge
weddings as well.
huge weddings, and Indian weddings. Yeah, yeah. It's a challenge, you know. It's
Oh,
a
yes,
big challenge to do Indian weddings because you have to know all the culture,
oh yeah, it's
all the
complete.
rituals.
They have a 7 day
Yes,
7 day
yes,
wedding, and I
yeah,
can imagine how much photography is that every day.
yes. Here in the Riviera
Enlarge
Maya,
this picture of the girls laughing so we can see her. So we
this
can,
one.
yes,
Oh yeah.
I love that. You see, I love pictures like that. They are really more natural, where you are just expressing what you're feeling. You're super happy that your friend is getting married and you're just showing it.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's this is a result of having a very nice connection with the people over there, you
Yes.
know, so the way they
And be
can be
themselves.
themselves.
Yeah, they can be goofy if they want, and it's okay.
Yes, definitely.
Beautiful. Is there anything that we didn't cover, Javier, that you would like to tell us? Oh, I love that dress. How beautiful.
Yeah, this is the Indian wedding. Yeah.
Wow, that dress is amazing.
Yes.
I like color. Beautiful couple too.
Yeah, most of the times over here is like a 4 day wedding.
Okay, they are doing the 4 day.
Yeah, they have 4 day wedding. Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
resort was this one?
This is Barcelona.
Barcelona. Okay.
This is Barcelona. It's a huge resort. It
Yeah.
has like 5 different lobbies.
Yes.
Yeah. Hundreds of rooms.
Yes. It's very affordable too. It's good. So I was asking if you have something else that you would like to add, that you would like
Oh,
to.
well, yeah. Well, I really encourage the brides to as I said, have a very nice communication. Communicate. Call the photographer. Get him on a video call so you can see who is behind the camera. You
Yes.
know, try to build this connection. You know, most of the brides plan their wedding like 1 year and a half ahead. I mean, ahead,
Yes. Yes.
and there's a very enough time to really meet the photographer. You know,
Yes.
uh, because the more, as I said, the most you know your photographer, the more natural you're going to be in front of the camera,
Yeah. More comfortable with
more
him.
comfortable you're going to be.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, and communicate, and don't hesitate to ask anything. Yeah, your photographer is going to be with you. Most of the time, we think that the planner is the one that is going to be with the bride all the time, but it's not. The one is going to be with you all the time, every minute of the day, during the whole day, is your photographer.
Yes.
It has to be your friend. You
Yes.
know, it has to be there to figure out what you need. You know,
Exactly. Exactly.
yeah, and I think we have some presents, right?
Yes, we have a good surprise for you guys. Uh, Javier and me, we decided that if you book our service in the next 7 days, we both are going to give you 50% discount. Mine will be 50% discount in your destination wedding planning fee. And Javier is going to give to the bride that has booked that destination wedding with me. He's going to give to the bride 50% discount as well. So thank you so much for that generous gift, Javier. And
My pleasure.
we'll be doing for 2 brides during this next 7 days. So be wise and be the first one to grab your spot.
My pleasure. And you just have to save the spot. That's it. Just save the spot.
Yes. Y para las novias latinas que están hoy con nosotros, Javier y yo hemos llegado a un acuerdo de darte un súper descuento de 50% en nuestros servicios. Yo te daré un descuento de 50% en tu en tu destino bodas, en la planeación de tu destino bodas. Y Javier te dará 50% de descuento en su paquete de fotografía. Esta promoción va a ser válida por los siguientes 7 días por un máximo de 2 novias. Muchas gracias por estar con nosotros hoy.
Gracias, gracias, estamos en contacto y espero que estamos aquí varias veces. Aquí los esperamos, chicas. Thank you very much, everybody. And Bryce, just stay in touch. We're going to be sharing a lot more information later.
Yes, I'm gonna share this. Are you seeing it, Javier? My screen?
Yes, I'm seeing. Yes, yes,
Are you seeing the photo of your information?
yes. Yeah, I see.
Perfect. Right, I highly encourage you to take a screenshot of this information from Javier. So you have here his contact info. And I will now put mine. Here's also my contact info. I highly recommend you to take a screenshot so you know where to find us. And thank you so much again for being here today. Muchas gracias, Javier, por estar con nosotros.
Gracias, gracias, un
Hasta la
placer.
próxima.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, bye.
Sure.